What's up, guys? So in this video I'm going to be going through something known as an interactable class, and believe it or not, this game has two different forms of that class. The first one being the small interactable class, which is what 90% of the cast is in, and the second group being the big interactable class, which only consists of 5 characters. And those 5 characters are Jason Voorhees, Leatherface, Predator, Ferrator, and Goro. Now, this may not seem like a big deal, but being in a different interactable class definitely makes a difference. For example, I'll show you guys. I'll choose a character that's in the small interactable class, and I'll select one of the characters that's in a big interactable class. We'll go to a stage where I could show you two different forms of interactables and how one of them, or how both of them, benefit the smaller characters in the interactable class compared to the bigger ones. So a lot of stages in this game have something in the corner known as a wall you're able to climb up and jump off of. And I'm going to show you guys right now. Okay, so let me switch sides so I can put myself in the corner with Katana. When I jump off of the interactable using a character with a small interactable class like her, you can see this is the distance I land. And then when I do it with the character in the bigger interactable class, you can see I land closer to my opponent with the character with the bigger interactable class. So right off the bat, characters who are in the smaller class travel a bit further. I'll show you guys that again. See, Katana goes a little bit further than Goro did. So that's the advantage of the small interactable class, which is the first advantage. The second advantage is you're able to do an attack while climbing up the wall by doing, with the small characters you do down +3, which you come down with a kick attack. And the first advantage, I'll show you guys, is if you notice the whiff recovery on Katana, I can almost block immediately. There's barely any whiff recovery. But if I do this with Goro, the same thing. You can see that there's a lot more whiff recovery for characters who are in the big class that use that move. So that's another disadvantage. Another thing is they use it differently. To do that with Goro, you don't do down 3 like you would with the characters in the light class. To do it with the character in the heavy class, you have to do down and 2, which you come down with a lunging punch. A lot more recovery on whiff, and a lot more recovery on hit also. And they do the same damage. They both do 8%. They're both overhead attacks. Now let's talk about the advantages on block. Now if Katana does this, I'll put on reversal, armor attack. If you do this with a character in the big class, when you come down, you're +6. You can see my down 1 can gel afterwards, but it's hard to do. I gotta do it to the frame, and I gotta make sure I hit it right when I'm coming down. So you're +6 after you do that with the character in the big class. If you do it with a character in a smaller class, we set Goro to reversal punch walk. Okay. You can see I'm a lot more plus. I'm so plus that Katana can run up and do a 9 frame high. And so around this, I'd say the ones where they come with the drop kick are very plus. They're like either +14 or +15, around that. I can even run up and gel my back one if I'm fast enough. And Katana's back one's 11 frames or 10. So you're very plus off that. Probably, I'd say twice as plus as the regular ones that the heavy characters jump off with. So already, with just one interactable use, the character in the smaller class have so much more advantages, 3 off the bat. So that's just one interactable. The second interactable, which a lot of characters can use, is the barrel, and a lot of them throw it the same. But a key in using the barrel is you're able to do a slide on it that you do by holding down. So you hold down and you do the interactable button. then your character will do a sliding attack. And this unblock, for the smaller characters, is plus. They're about +5, +4 if you do this with a smaller interactable class character. But with the big class character, if you do this, you're not plus, you're actually minus. So if you do the down and interactable button with a character in the big class, you're -4 or -3 around there. So you don't get any advantage afterwards. Your opponent moves first before you do. But let's say you hit your opponent with this. If you hit your opponent with this in the big class, it's very hard for you to combo afterwards. You're like +7, +8 after the hit when they go in the air. So for a lot of big characters, you're going to have to do something like a quick down one into something, and you're going to have to be close, depending on the range of your folks. So a lot harder to combo off of if you're in the big class. But if you're in the smaller class, when you do the down and interactable button on the barrel, you get a full combo pop-up, which makes it very easy for you to follow up with combos afterwards. So guys, those are the two main big differences as far as using interactable classes go, and the two of them consist of small class and big class. Small class, a lot more advantage on interactable usage, a lot less recovery, get bigger air times on your pop-ups,